Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Communication is important to build your career. Whether you're an executive or you're just starting out, how well you can communicate will determine the level of your success. In this podcast, I'll cover the communication skills you need for career success. Hey, this is Kari Watt, the creator of the Kari Cares Show and a digital strategist with nearly 2 decades of experience in marketing and communications. Now, it's my mission to help you achieve and exceed your marketing goals with a tailored digital strategy for your business. Well done for listening to this podcast, and it's great to have you here with me. I haven't recorded anything for a while because life got busy, and the last time I recorded this, it was terrible. I listened to it and I thought, I have to record this again. So I'm going to talk normally to you right now.
On the Kari Cares podcast.
You know, I'm a business owner and a consultant, and I've gone into different industries and different companies, and in each one have learned a different culture and various communication styles. Now, as a digital strategist and a communication specialist, I've come to understand that even when I think I know something really, really well, it's always a good idea to be open to new experiences and, different people's perceptions, because you know that saying, we don't know what we don't know? Well, until somebody else points it out, right? And if you close yourself off to learning, you'll actually never open up to new possibilities. Your ability to communicate clearly comes from your experience, but things like emotion, stress, or even physical ailments like perhaps a sore neck or back can stop you from communicating really well. So let's go back to the basics. What is communication? It is to give information about something to somebody else by either speaking, writing, or moving your hands. Through communication, we can share our ideas, our concepts, perceptions, and even our behaviors. Now, you may think communication is a really simple process, but you have to think about the different communication styles, cultures, and the distance needed to transfer the information. Now, this can all make this process really complicated. And I did cover the different communication styles in podcast 12. Now, there are technical terms around communication where you learn how to use the different communication styles to build strong relationships with customers, co-workers, your boss, and even in your personal relationships, right? Now, there are 3 important communication elements. First, there's the sender. Then there's the medium or the platform that you're going to send the message on. And last, there's the recipient. Now, the sender is the most involved person because they have a full understanding of what they want to deliver or what their message is. On the other hand, the receiver doesn't necessarily know about the sender or the subject. Now, technically, the communication process is split into 3 major steps: thought, encoding, and decoding. Now, thought is a subject of information that exists in the sender's mind. Oh, that mind. Encoding is where the sender transforms her or his thoughts, ideas, or concepts into verbal speech or a written message. Now, it basically refers to the encryption of ideas from the perspective of the sender. Now, when the message is received by the other person, the recipient reads and understands it. This is where decoding refers to the interpretation of information from the perspective of the receiver. Now, communication can be a one-way or two-way process. When the information is received, this is a one-way process. It may not be necessarily for the recipient to respond, right? They don't really have to respond. But if the recipient formulates a response, then the communication becomes a two-way process. I mean, that's 101, communication. So why are communication skills important. So communication is the heart of everything we do. We read, write, speak, and listen to ensure tasks are completed and goals are achieved. As you develop in your career, you'll find various reasons why successful communication skills are necessary and equally important. These could be to secure an interview. You need good communication skills to make sure your application letter is read and acted upon, right? Or it could be to get a job. You need to communicate effectively during your interview if you are to sell yourself and get the job. It could be to do your job well. You need to request information, discuss problems, give instructions, work in teams, interact with colleagues and your clients. Now, if you're to achieve cooperation and be a part of an effective team and do teamwork, good communication and relation skills are pretty essential. As the workplace becomes more global, there are many factors to consider if you are to communicate effectively in such a diverse environment. To advance your career, employees want people who can think for themselves, use initiative and solve problems, and who are interested in long-term success of the company and the brand. Now, if you're to be seen as a valued member of the organisation, it's important to do your job well and be able to communicate on how the processes or products or services can be improved. So what are the benefits of effective communication? The most successful organisations know that to remain successful, they need employees who are excellent communicators at all levels. It doesn't matter what level you're at, but you need to be a great communicator or even think about this to have career success. Now, you can achieve effective communication through the letters of success.
On the Kari Cares podcast.
S being stronger decision making and problem solving. U, upturn in productivity. C, convincing and compelling marketing materials. I like that one. C, clear and more streamlined workflow. That's a real one for the, manager. That's what they like you to have. E, enhanced professional image. S, sound business relationships. S, successful response ensured. There you go. There's the letter of success. Now, to be an excellent communicator isn't about just speaking up. It's also about becoming an excellent listener and reading the non-verbal clues. Now, here's a quote I really like from Larry King where he says, "I remind myself every day, nothing I say this day will teach me anything. So if I'm going to learn, I must do it by listening." So I hope you enjoyed this week's podcast. Every week I'm going to do one from now on. Please like this and give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below the one takeaway from this week, and reach out with any questions you have. Until next week, peace!
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.